most expensive Bundesliga starting 11 of all time. The formation is going to be a 4-3-3 with one CDM and two number 8s. Starting off with the goalkeeper, and his current Bayern Munich and German international, Manuel Neuer. I'm surprised he's still the most expensive Bundesliga goalkeeper of all time, as he was bought in 2011, but nevertheless, he cost the club 30 million euros, and it might be the most worth 30 million euros the club's ever spent. Consistency at its finest. He's won 12 out of possible 14 league titles at the club, and during his time there, he's been arguably the best goalkeeper every single year during his time at the club. Definitely a successful signing and a goalkeeper in many people's eyes, if not a GOAT, top 3. Onto the right back, and this one is slightly cheating, but not really at the same time. My requirements are that the player has to have featured in that position quite a fair few amount of games, and this player definitely has. Although he hadn't, shall I say, for the Bundesliga club whilst he was there. It's current Liverpool and Hungarian international Dominik Szoboszlai, who's featured at right back for Liverpool a bit this season. Now, during his time at Leipzig, he was an attacking midfielder or right winger and was successful in those positions for the club, known for his running power and dribbling in crowded areas, something we don't unfortunately really see in Liverpool anymore nowadays, but we saw it at the start, but it's just something that's been taken out of his game. His technical ability is still there, but he just doesn't do it anymore. He managed to help the club to win silverware on 2 occasions in back-to-back seasons in the DFB Pokal. The club managed to sell him for almost 2 times the amount they bought him for at 70 million euros. So Szoboszlai was a successful signing for the club, and he's taken the right back position at 36 million euros. At right centre back is current Manchester United and Netherlands international Matthijs de Ligt, who cost the club 67 million euros, and this one didn't live up to expectations. Although the Bayern fans did somewhat like him and didn't want the club to sell him, but the club let go of him after only 2 seasons there, and they also made a loss on him. He did win one league title during his time at the club, but he wasn't a pivotal part of that league title, and he wasn't brought in for a short-term impact, but rather a long-term impact, and also making a loss on him in such a short amount of time. I'm going to have to say unsuccessful signing despite him being really liked by the fans. At left centre back is current Bayern and South Korean international Kim Min-jae, who cost the club 50 million euros after an impressive season at Napoli, helping the club to their first Scudetto in around 30 years. He caught the eye of Bayern Munich, who quickly made the move to him. Now, his time has been mixed, showing glimpses of his Napoli self, but he just doesn't fit the Bayern system. Despite being a good defender, nowadays defenders in the elite clubs particularly are required to progress the ball up, amazing ability to break lines, comfortable in the high line, and dominant in their physical battles. Now, Kim Min Jae is dominant in his physical battles and general defending, but he's not always comfortable in the high line, like we saw against Madrid in the semi-finals a few seasons back, when Vinicius made that run in behind him and Cruz played him through. His progressive passes aren't also elite either, and he can't really carry the ball. He's not the first name on the team sheet anymore, and he never really was able to cement himself in the first team. He still is a good player, and if rumours are true that Bayern are looking to offload him, a club like Newcastle should be all over this signing. However, I will have to say unsuccessful. Completing the backline at left back to make it almost a full Bayern backline, sorry. I promise the whole starting 11 isn't only Bayern. It's current Paris Saint-Germain and French international Lucas Hernandez, who cost the club 80 million euros. Now, a good player, but I just think the injuries make this an unsuccessful signing rather than his footballing abilities, and the fact he somewhat forced his way out of the club for PSG, which ultimately meant that the club saw a huge loss on him and a player who's ridiculed with injuries. A top player on his day when fit, but I'm going to have to say unfortunately unsuccessful, especially because he was the club's most expensive player at the time of the signing, and he was for a while as well. He's not anymore, but for a few seasons he was. I wouldn't be able to name you an iconic Lucas Hernandez moment for Bayern Munich. If you're the most expensive signing for the club, defender, goalkeeper, midfielder, attacker, I have to think of one iconic moment. I'm sorry. In the CDM position is current Tottenham Hotspur and Portuguese international João Palhinha, who cost the club 51 million euros. Now, to keep this short and brief, he's been loaned out after only one season at the club with a buy option that was cheaper than his original price Bayern paid for him. Apologies about the voice, I'm still ill somehow. Hopefully, I get better soon. It's a lower fee by around 10 million. He was meant to be the destroyer Bayern Munich were missing, the new Xavi Martinez, if you don't remember him. But honestly, it's not even that he's a bad player, it's due to the fact he doesn't fit the ideal profile for company and Bayern as a whole. They want someone smooth and elegant on the ball, but Pelinha isn't that. He likes the break-up play, get stuck in, and pop in with a few goals as a late box crusher. He's a good player, but doesn't fit these elite club standards, especially as a starter, so I'm going to have to say unfortunately unsuccessful despite a lot of hype around the move. At left centre mid is finally not a Bayern player. The way things were going, it looked like a full Bayern 11 apart from Szoboszlai, but its current German and Al Ahly player, Julian Draxler, who moved to Wolfsburg. Apparently, this is the second most expensive midfield signing in the Bundesliga. This is probably a name you lot haven't heard in a while. I haven't either. But wow, this guy was the hype from 2014 to 2018. Now, it's a bit strange because I only remember him at Schalke and PSG. I hardly remember him having anything to do with Wolfsburg. And I somewhat stand correct in a way because he only stayed for a year and a half and he left to PSG for 42 million euros. So the club made a 1 million euro loss on him at the time they let go of him. He was also the record signing, and to this day, he still is the club record signing. So I'm going to have to say, unfortunately, unsuccessful for a club like Wolfsburg to pay 43 million euros, sorry, and to let go of him at a loss a year and a half later. It's a bit strange. He was class back in the day, but if there are any Wolfsburg fans out there, please do let me know what this guy was like for you lot and what happened during his time at the club. Am I wrong for saying he was unsuccessful? Because I genuinely don't remember anything with him to do in Wolfsburg, or to do with Wolfsburg, sorry. At right central midfield, completing the midfield, is current Tottenham and Netherlands international Javi Simmons. He only spent 2 seasons at Leipzig, a year and a half of it on loan, and 6 months after the club got pressured by PSG, or not pressure, but they came to an agreement to have him signed permanently because of something to do with Kolo Muani wanted to go out on loan and PSG maxed out their loan deals. I don't know if you don't remember it, but he was bought for 50 million euros. Simmons did tell the club he would like to leave in the summer, even if he does sign now permanently on a 5-year deal or whatever it was. He was sold for 60 million euros, so a 10 million euro profit that they made on him. He was successful for them at the time he was at the club, helping them advance to the round of 16 in his first year at the club in the Champions League, but they unfortunately got matched against giants Real Madrid, but he almost did take them to extra time. And Real Madrid did end up winning the competition, but Simmons in the round of 16 was the best player across the two legs in my opinion. He helped the club qualify for Champions League again. He was one of the league's best players and attracted top clubs like Chelsea, Arsenal, Bayern, and etc. But he ultimately ended up at Tottenham. But his time at Leipzig has been successful and they made a profit on him as well. So successful signing for sure. I have no clue why I said that for sure so enthusiastically, but let's move on to the attack. Starting with the left wing position is current Bayern and Colombian international Luis Diaz, who just recently joined the club in the most recent summer transfer window for 70 million euros. A high fee for him, and it was questioned away at the time. A 28-year-old who isn't the best of finishers for that amount, but boy has he proved the majority of people wrong. He starred for Bayern with 17 goals and assists in 22 games. Whenever he's played for them, you can sense that. No, sorry, whenever he doesn't play for them, you can sense that they miss his positive energy, pressing, and directness. His finishing has also improved slightly, and he's been a key reason for Bayern being unbeaten in the league up until now and second in the Champions League, where his most memorable game for them so far is the brace against PSG. And funnily enough, the one game he missed in the Champions League this year due to the red card for that challenge on Hakimi, they lost to Arsenal. I'd say he's definitely been successful for the club so far. In the striker position is current Bayern and England international Harry Kane. He cost the club 95 million euros and he's been worth every single penny, breaking records after records at the club, and he is the most expensive Bundesliga signing of all time. He has 144 goals and assists in 121 games. These are elite numbers, and he replaced Lewandowski, arguably the club's best player in the last decade, with ease. He can shoot, he can link up, he can win headers, he can play make. This man is the most complete striker of this day and age, and he might go down as an all-timer. I honestly think if he was called Kane Dino and playing for Brazil, he'd already be in those debates that some of you find uncomfortable. He managed to finally win a trophy at the club as well, helping them win the league title last year, and this season he's looking like he can potentially guide them to a treble. He's definitely been a successful signing for the club. Finally completing this starting 11 and attack at right wing is no other than the man himself, Mr. Nonchalant, Mr. Bov, Michael Elise. And let me tell you, this guy is different gravy. He cost the club 53 million euros and he's been a successful signing in my opinion. The best winger the club's had post Robin and Ribéry. And he will be a key part of them in the upcoming years as well. He'll go down as an all-timer for them. Direct, quick, got good skills, good finishing and good playmaking. I can't lie. What is that this guy can't do? If I was a fullback, I would not want to come up against this guy, especially now that he's even upped his game since moving to Bayern. He helped them win the league in his first season there, and I'm sure he helped them win many more if all goes well. That's the most expensive Bundesliga starting 11 done. Take a look at it. I will be doing League 1, League On, whatever you want to call it next. And after that, I'll be making a video analysing all the top 5 leagues' most expensive starting 11, making a combined 11 and coming to a conclusion which league spends their money the best. So it's going to be a bang of a video. Watch out for that one. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you for watching.